Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Look at that Z4. I am back home, Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is currently 74 degrees at 9 in the morning. Feels pretty good. Already gone on my walk for the day. I got about 800 steps so far, 9 in the morning. A couple people been inviting me to Fitbit challenges. I raised my goal about a month ago to 15,000 steps a day. In the last couple weeks I've been hitting that. So I've actually been winning these Fitbit challenges with all these young folks. Kind of funny. Anyway, I'm going to get out here and tinker with Queen Bee a little bit. And I'm going to do a test, performance test on a rip kit installation. Right now, Queen Bee has the standard turbo piping installed. I found a OEM Volvo rip kit that I'm going to install. Then I got a rip kit from Snap that I'm going to install. So I'm going to use the scan gauge to performance test each of those setups so that you guys can see what kind of gain you'll get if you get a rip kit. Just add the rip kit. Queen Bee's been sitting a few weeks. Normally this tire's a little low, so I'm going to check tire pressure, air up all the tires, and then I'm going to change the wastegate because I believe the wastegate that is on this car has a flaw. It's not smooth, it's not functioning properly. So what I'm going to do is, after I change this wastegate, set it where I'm going to leave it, I'm going to take the car out on the highway and record 2 pulls with the scan gauge. And I'm going to document those 2 pulls, same time of day, same temperature, each test. Then I'm going to put the OEM rip kit on it that was recalled by Volvo. Do that pull the next day, same time, hopefully same everything, and then I'm going to install the Snap rip kit. So it's going to take me 3 days to test because I don't want 2 different temperatures and all that stuff to affect the test. So let's get started. I'm going to change the wastegate to the one that I picked up off of a 16T. Before I install this wastegate, I'm going to go test it down at the shop. You need a pressure pump to test it. Make sure it holds pressure, doesn't bleed off. The one that's on the car now, I think it's erratic. It was adjusted improperly, so I want to make sure this is right before I replace the turbo and all of that other stuff that I'm planning on replacing in a few days. As soon as I get done with this test with the rip kit, I'm going to tune Queen Bee. New turbo, exhaust manifold, intake manifold, downpipe, and a tune that I have purchased. So I just want to do this rip kit test on the stock setup so that you all know how the stock setup will function just with a rip kit upgrade. I didn't notice, but your shaft can turn around in here and this still be good. Wastegate. So I tested it. It did hold pressure all the way up to 10 psi. So I'm going to go ahead and install that on this car here. The wastegate that I got on here, wow, I didn't know that that nut was backed off. Don't know if that matters or not. That probably matters. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take that off and put this wastegate on. First thing you want to do is let the car cool off. Almost impossible to do this with the turbo and all of that stuff smoking hot. Next, you want to remove the heat shield from the turbo. Mine is already missing, so that's no big deal. Next step, you want to remove the pin from the turbo, which I have already done there, from the wastegate. Next, you want to remove the inlet tube, intake tube from the air box down to the turbo. Flat tip screwdriver, 7mm there. Same thing down there. Remove the lines from the PTC and unplug the PTC and then pull the intake out of the way. Not going to be able to replace this with the intake installed. I pulled the air box out. It's easier for me to take the intake tube out that way to disconnect the PTC connector. Now I'm going to reach down in here and take off the 2 bolts for the wastegate actuator. One of them's there and the other one's back a little bit back there. These are 13s, they're normally 12s. You have both bolts out, just lift it up and off of that arm and out of the way. Now these wastegate actuators are rated to a certain PSI, certain size turbo, so you want to get one that matches your turbo's performance size. I think this is the OEM wastegate actuator. Doesn't have any numbers on there that I can see anywhere on it. Now the Volvo one that I pulled off of a Volvo 16T turbo has numbers and markings there, and it has inspection information there and colors as to what color your turbo control valve line. So the yellow line comes to your wastegate. You open up the wastegate all the way, get it out of the way of the rod. Then you put your 2 bolts in. Now you come to your boost control solenoid or your turbo control solenoid. Find that yellow line and connect it to your wastegate so that it is connected properly. Put my intake tube back in, secure it, make sure the clamp is up. You can inspect your intake tube, make sure you don't have a bunch of oil in it, and make sure that the end of it's not all brittle and busted up. So I'm going to put this in, plug in the PTC, hook up the PCV stuff, then I'm going to get the pump and adjust my wastegate. So I really didn't need to connect that line. I thought my wastegate actuator was bad, but actually I'm now thinking that my wastegate itself is bad. If you look down there, you'll see a rust line. When this wastegate opens up, it actually falls down into that line and then it gets stuck open. So I'm going to replace that. I don't know if that'll affect my test or not. We're going to go find out. Things back together, I'm ready to roll, but I really don't know how my test is going to come out. The reason why I'm changing my wastegate actuator is because I believe it's bad. The bottom line is your wastegate controls your boost pressure. If you get too much boost pressure too soon, you could bend the rod, destroy your engine. You don't want to do that. So I was sensing I had some kind of boost issues, and when I checked the actuator, it wasn't working and wasn't set right. But putting on this Volvo actuator, I realized that the wastegate is actually defective. When it opens so far, it gets stuck. It doesn't close. Then maybe after a little while, it works its way closed and starts all over. So I need to replace that exhaust housing, which would get me a replaced wastegate, actual wastegate, part of the exhaust housing. To go test the standard intercooler piping for the Volvo turbo piping, we're going to do a performance test. First test we're going to do is a 1/4 mile test. the speed limit of the interstate I'm going to get on is 75. So when I get up around 75, I'm going to let off the gas and let it drift on to a quarter mile. And then we're going to do a run from 40 to the speed limit so that we can time both of those. I'm going to use my scan gauge to time them so that we can get the performance test. I'm going to do it each day, the same temperature, ambient temperature, close to the same time. So I'm going to check the temperature on my phone, run the test, and then we'll document the results on a spreadsheet so we can test the standard intercooler piping, turbo intercooler piping, the stock rip kit intercooler piping, and then the snap rip kit intercooler piping, one after the other. I am at an exit off the interstate. I'm getting ready to go onto the interstate. I'm going to do a quarter mile run, and I have my scan gauge armed. So here I go. I hit the speed limit, so I let off of it, and I'm going to save this run at spot 0, 0, and do my next run from 40 to the speed limit. Go up here, I'm going to turn around at a next exit, and then I'm going to get onto the exit spot, and I'm going to set the cruise to 40 miles an hour. And once I'm cruising at 40 miles an hour and don't have any boost, I'm going to hit the arm button, slam on the accelerator, and run up to the speed limit and see what kind of speed we have for that quarter mile. I'm taking exit 209. I'm going to get back on the freeway headed north back towards Albuquerque. And I have the cruise set at 40, so I'm going to hit resume. And as it resumes and it starts to merge onto the freeway, I'm going to hit the arm button, and I should not have any boost at that time. Then when I hit the arm button, I'm going to slam on the gas, and when I get up to the speed limit, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to record those times. So it'll be like a 40 to 75 mile an hour times. So let me go ahead, turn to get back on the freeway, and resume my cruise and get it ready to arm. Don't have any boost. I'm at cruise. As soon as I pass this last thing on the right, I'm gonna hit the arm and hit the gas at the same time. Ready, set, go. Merging onto the freeway. Now when I get down to the speed limit, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. Alright, I stopped it. I know I hit the speed limit. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to store it on number 1. Store. So, I have the first run from 0 to the speed limit saved on number 0. And then I got the next run saved on number 1. We're going to go ahead and document those for the spreadsheet. Another thing that I'm going to do, as you can see, is 90 degrees. So I'm going to run tomorrow at 90 degrees. I'm also going to pump a little gas in the car. However much I use, that's how much I'm going to replenish, so that the weight can be as close as possible. Make the runs as scientifically as close as possible. Well, I didn't save my 0 to speed limit run properly. I did save my 40 to speed limit properly. So I'm going to go back either when it gets 90 degrees here in a few minutes, or first thing in the morning, I'm going to do my 0 to speed limit run again. Somehow I didn't store it right. Junkyard, and somebody lost their Honda Accord. Looks like they might have wrapped it against some kind of wall of some sort. Man, that was bad. Real bad. 240 has a sunroof shade on top. Probably fits on all Volvos. Looks like the one I got from another car. Still has an engine. A few other things. Let's see how the interior looks. Passenger seat's good. Back seats are good. Has a dash pad. Aftermarket radio. It's here. Here's a white 740 down here. Has the tan leather. Got some issues. Some of it stripped out. Has a few good panels on it. Somebody couldn't get in the trunk. It's an 86 model. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.